I had to quit my job, this was so scary. I still have nightmares about it. I used to work second shift at a convenience store until closing time. One night, it was just me and my manager there. Everything was normal until we heard scratching at the front door. Not short scratches like a dog was at the door, but deep, long scratches. The front entrance was locked, but something was dragging its nails across the glass. At first we thought it was probably an animal, or maybe some tweaker messing around outside. Then the scratching suddenly stopped, and a few minutes later we heard it again, this time at the back door. My manager headed to the back to investigate. It was violent sounding. That's what the scratching at the back door sounded like to me, like something was trying to desperately claw its way inside. Luckily that door can't even be opened from the outside. My manager yelled that he was calling the cops. The scratching stopped immediately. Then he checked the lock, still locked from the inside, but instead of waiting for police, my manager actually opened the back door to look outside. I thought he was insane. I didn't hear anything from him after a few minutes, so I headed back to see what was happening. I found him with a look of terror on his face and speechless. He was looking down at the bottom of the back door. I stepped outside to see what he was looking at. There were massive, deep claw marks carved into the door. I started freaking out when I saw the claw marks. No way a normal animal made those. They were too big. We hurried inside and my manager quickly locked the back door again and returned to the front counter with me. That's when we heard scratching at the front door again. Louder this time. Both of us turned toward the glass, and after what we saw, I was no longer worried about the claws, because standing outside the door was a human-like hand with long claws pressed against the glass, and above it, two scary-looking reflective eyes were staring directly at us. My manager immediately called the cops. The beast or demon, or whatever it was, stayed there, eyes locked onto us. Of course it ran away right before the cops showed up. He escorted us to his car to sit while he searched the property. At this point, I thought it was finally over. Then, as he walked back toward the front of the store, all of us saw it. Near the corner of the building, a human-like head slowly peeking around the wall close to the ground, watching us. The cop stopped dead in his tracks, and what happened next made this even worse. The cop couldn't believe the horrific sight in front of him. Of course he thought we were hallucinating or just making the story up. Now he knew, though, without a doubt it was real. He drew his gun and fired a couple of warning shots toward it, and it ran off. He ran back to the car and called for backup. When other police arrived, they couldn't find any sign of it. At first, they thought someone was pulling a prank with a mask. Then we showed them the claw marks and the security footage. The thing had actually been caught on camera. To this day, none of us know what was outside the store that night. After that, my manager started bringing a gun to work and constantly checking every lock before closing. That wasn't enough for me, though, and I quit a few days later. As far as I know, nobody ever saw that thing again.